You know us as the advisor you can talk to, but what does that really mean? In today's episode, we want to show you how our conversations with clients and coworkers have changed or not as a result of this global pandemic. Hello, this is Andrew Busa, and I'm a financial planner here at Advisor Investments. We're here with another Advisor You Can Talk to podcast. And today I'm joined by my colleague, Rick Winters. He's a portfolio executive and vice president here at Advisor Investments.
How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing well. So, Rick, today's episode, we're going to treat a little bit differently. I want to just use this as a time to have kind of a casual conversation with you to really discuss and I know the term unprecedented is being thrown around a lot these days, but
Hmm.
call it
Certainly.
unusual, new, uncertain, whatever term you want to use. But I think that clients out there would like to hear from us and you in terms of just how our roles as advisors have changed, if at all, during these times. I wonder if you can
Yeah,
kind of speak
I
to that. And
yeah. So I've been looking forward to this because I think as I spend a lot of time talking with people in a very personal way, about their finances and their family.
Mhm.
This has added a whole nother dynamic to that. I mean, one of the biggest changes, of course, why you and I are talking. We're not looking at each other, but fortunately,
Right,
because of technology, able to do this as if we were sitting in the office. But yeah, I've been home since March 11th.
right,
Yeah, it's been a work in progress. The kids have been out of school. I think that I can speak for myself and many of my colleagues when I say this. That has been the teacher, janitor slash lunch lady, and principal without any authority is a pretty tough job to have.
yep. I
And
think
I think
everyone out there is wearing a lot of hats.
yes,
I
exactly.
think everyone can attest to that.
Yes, and everyone's got their own unique. So that's one major change. Fortunately for us, living in New England, we had kind of anticipated the fact that we might need to work from home 1 or 2 days because of a big
Mhm.
snowstorm. But that investment in technology basically allowed us to hit the ground running. So hopefully, the people we're working with have not seen much of a change, even though we're all, well, I guess just in case my kids bump into this conversation, that's one of the changes. My kids get to join occasionally and saying hi to somebody. Um,
Right.
but
Yeah, I mean,
for the conversations that we're having, I think that's what you're actually trying to get at there, Andrew, was the
yeah,
conversations with clients
exactly. Yeah, I
is
mean, what when you're having these conversations with clients now, I mean, we're in the middle of this global pandemic, of course. I'm curious what sorts of questions you are getting, from clients as you're having these sorts of conversations.
So think about where we've gone, where we have been, and where we are now. Is that in a matter of 4 trading days, we watched the market shed off 13% right after the
Mhm.
market had peaked just the week earlier, and then quickly thereafter, within a month, we watched the market on the worst day be down over 30%. Market being the S&P 500.
Mhm.
That generates quite a bit of emotion, and then a week after that, the markets recovered from that bottom by about 20+%. So
Right.
I mean, there's been conversations where I'm having where you're dealing with the anxiety that's being created
Mhm.
from the downside experience, and then the surprise that that a market or your stock market is trading at these higher levels that we're seeing right now. So
Right.
that I mean that I think initially with that surprise that they have has generated a unique set of conversations actually.
Absolutely. I mean, and you mentioned a key word there, anxiety. I
Hmm.
think eh, what I would say, and I've been part of some of these conversations as well with clients, is it's a legitimate fear that I think a lot of people have of, what exactly is happening with the stock market? Why is the stock market going up? Why is it going down some days? I mean, these are normal questions to be having and
Yeah,
feelings to
those
be having,
I've spent 20 years walking through those exact conversations. Why does it go up? Why does it go down? Well,
Right.
fortunately, over the long run, it makes a lot more sense than the day to day.
Right. And so what kind of advice, do you think has been prominent in these conversations that you've been giving to clients?
Yeah, so I think the key when you're having, someone calls you and whatever emotions there is, don't assume anything because we know what assuming can do to the person making that assumption. So I ask
Right.
questions. I say, hey, what's your situation? where are you at, and how's the family, and what are your interactions, and what's been going on for you. Each of those experience unique. One, because we have clients in all 50 states throughout the US and different parts of the world, so there are actually legitimately different experiences happening. Um, but then we move on to, okay, what's changed for you personally? And when I mean change, I'm not just like, today I woke up and I felt different. It's, no, what's changed financially for you, health wise, more of a lifestyle change, or maybe something external, maybe somebody close to you or family or otherwise has impacted you. So I want to understand those things up front, because starting there allows me to move into what we've spent with these people so much time. These people, the people, my friends, the relationships I have with my clients, uh, that we spent all this time building these plans. So when, as long
Hmm.
as I come in with my eyes wide open, that maybe nothing's changed. Actually, I know the
Right.
situation's odd, but maybe the actual nothing's changed. So what do I really need to come in and now make some massive adjustment to my portfolio because I woke up today and read a bad article?
Right.
Or
No, I think
yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, I think as you approach this sort of global event, that's a shock to a lot of people's portfolios. I think it really what stands out too is just the importance of having a plan. That you mentioned, because it's much easier to view this sort of event in the context of a broader plan that you have for yourself,
yeah,
rather than zooming in
exactly.
into what's happened in the last 2 months. Right.
I just spent 10 years building this plan with this person, and all in one day, it's somehow going to change. If let's go to the extreme. The markets are going to decline. They're going to only go down from here, and I need to protect my money. Well, okay, how did we get here?
Right.
Where have you, what have you been listening to? What are your, what's kind of gotten us to this point? Obviously, the media is feeding in, and the
Hmm.
politics is surrounding, and our personal experiences. But we need to stop. We need to first think rationally. We need to
Hmm.
be disciplined, because we have spent time building this plan for this exact situation, and then we need to
Right.
educate ourselves.
Hmm.
So that a quick knee-jerk response by saying, "Hey, I gotta go half in cash or all in cash," is actually setting yourself up for um, a failure. One, because now our plan has been basically crumpled up and thrown out the door, and the other one is it's going to just shift your risk. You didn't get rid of risk; you just changed it. You now are in a
Right.
position where you're going to earn zero, literally.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that you speaking there to just the importance of the education, part of your relationship with clients, how important that is to really just let clients know what the impact of their decision will be, not just tomorrow, but 10 years down the road. But then I
Abs-
imagine sometimes though, a client comes back to you and says, you know what, I don't care. I This is the decision that I want to make.
yeah,
How do you deal with that sort of situation?
yeah. So if we are in that point where and sometimes we do need to make a change, because just because you haven't had a financial change or a health change, maybe you're not sleeping at night. Well,
Right.
that's not okay either, because that creates a lot of its own issues. So first things you got to do is, because the plan is built with the idea that I have money that's invested to pay bills 20 years from now, and my plan also has money that's built to pay bills tomorrow or today or
Hmm.
right this minute. How do I differentiate when all I get is a statement at the end of the month that shows me my $500,000 account is now worth 450? Well, what you do is you can actually look at that account and say, well, I've actually built in $250,000 worth of safe money. Um, and maybe the portfolios, I'm using 500,000. Maybe we're talking about 5 million. So maybe the
Hmm.
500 million, the $5 million account's now 4.5 million. And that's $500,000 that seems to have just vanished in thin air. But then maybe I'm talking about you having 2.2 or $2.5 million in safe money. How long does it take
Hmm.
you to spend that? And you stop for a second and go, well, I'm spending like $50,000 a year, and I got my social security coming in, and I'm not going to get that little side job money that I was getting before, but oh no, I think that safe money could last me 15 years of,
Right.
then, and without having to dip into stock. So am I really concerned about the stock market 15 years out from now?
Mm.
Personally, I'm not. I'm eager to see where it actually goes from here, because as a long-term investor, looking in the rearview mirror 10 years from now, I'm going to say, wow, I mean, I'd never want to relive that COVID-19 experience, but that was the best buying opportunity as a clear-thoughted investor that I took advantage of. Didn't make a drastic decision, and then long term made my money that I thought I was going to make.
Yeah, I mean, I know, one of our mantras here is that, a bear market is a fantastic buying opportunity and one to be taken
I'm
advantage
going to
of.
totally steal this joke right from our investment committee meeting, is saying that
Right.
every past market decline is looked at as a missed buying opportunity, and
Yeah.
every future market decline is nothing but risk.
Yeah. I mean, well said at that. What more do you need to say there? All right. So, that's all well and good there, but let's say, the client says, what, I get all of that, but this is still the decision I want to make. I want to put a slug of my portfolio in cash. How do you deal
Yeah.
with that sort of situation?
Yeah, so now we can get to that's and that's the right question there, because that does happen. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about with that person, and maybe we do need to take action. But the idea of there being one only extreme solution, as if I'm invested one day and now I'm in cash the next, that absolutely does not work. I just touched on
Hmm.
that before, because you go from being in a position to make, I don't know, 4 or 5% maybe over the long run. If you're really eager and taking on a lot of risk, maybe 10, maybe.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Hmm.
I know right now in cash I'm earning zero, and no plan
Right.
is is going to be achieved earning nothing, especially if we start to deal with other things like inflation. So we need to take action. Let's not scrap the blueprint. Maybe we move the windows. Maybe we adjust a wall and we change
Hmm.
the paint color. So we go from
Right.
being someone that's invested 60% in stocks, which is pretty traditional for a long-term investor with long-term, with enough resources to kind of protect near-term interests and long-term growth. Maybe we go become a little bit more conservative temporarily, but we don't throw the whole plan in the garbage. We have a place to
Hmm.
operate from. We're on our toes. We're not on our heels. If I'm in
Hmm.
cash, I'm on my heels. I'm constantly looking around. I'm not in an offensive position. If I've sold at a market as markets have declined a lot, I'm in a defensive position because I got to figure out how I'm going to get back in. And it's a
Hmm.
very hard decision to make. So I say keep the plan intact, work with the blueprints, don't scrap them and start all over.
Yep, love that analogy. I think there's a lot of merit to that. Shifting gears a little bit here, as we got the notice at Advisor Investments that we're working from home, we're adapting now to this new lifestyle at the beginning of this pandemic. What were your expectations, working with clients and your coworkers? Has it been different than you expected? How has it been overall for you?
I've actually been really impressed with my coworkers, and I've been because everybody stepped up to the challenge, and we're
Hmm.
doing a lot of fun things, to try to stay connected. Um,
Hmm.
we are, just the other day, thank you, Andrew, for organizing this. Was our baby picture reveal project competition to
That
see
was
who could
fun.
guess if all so kind of keep the culture of the firm intact, and I think we've done
Hmm.
a great job with that. We haven't missed one meeting, we haven't missed a beat. A lot less
Right.
people taking vacation right now. I noticed
Yep.
that we've got everybody, all staff, all hands on, pretty much. We're gonna have to
Yep.
start making sure we keep ourselves relaxed enough to keep
Yep.
going. But for clients, I equally impressed. I think we're fortunate to work with a very smart group of people who
Mhm.
have, from our roots, coming in from being writers of advice and through the newsletters, and continuing to write and communicate at an extremely high level. I hope I'm meeting the bar that we've set with this podcast. Um, I think that they've come in and and for the most part have committed to this idea that there's a plan, and if we think, operate rationally, maintain our discipline and continue to educate ourselves, we'll come out okay on the other side. uh, and that's absolutely what I've seen. A lot of my conversations doesn't get down into the immediately into any performance discussion. It's just checking in
Mhm.
to see how each other's doing and see that, what's changed, as I highlighted before. And that I think is most important. I give our clients so much credit, um,
Mhm.
for being that way, and knowing and
Yeah,
being that seeker of information, having found us, and given us a chance to to help them through environments like this.
I totally agree with that. I think the conversations that I've had with clients, and coworkers for that matter, I have been very heartened to see just that the human element of all of this. hasn't been lost, and I think the conversations that I've been a part of have just been very rewarding. I think with clients and coworkers. I feel like all of the calls sort of end with a, it was great to see you, great to keep in touch, good to see you're doing well. I think that can't be overlooked in
Yeah.
times like these.
Yeah, no, it can't be. It's so important. Makes our jobs. It lets us continue to be. And I really want people to think about. We're in an environment where you want to be on your toes, so that you're ready
Hmm.
to respond proactively and actively, rather than just kind of feeling like you're just taking every day is just another kind of pushing you backwards. It's not a
Right.
way to. It's not a way to function. It's fortunately where I feel like advisor investments is we're on our toes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, backed by our research team here, all the portfolio executives, financial planning, operations, the IT department, been phenomenal. Everybody,
Hmm.
like you said, it's been all hands on deck, and we've been really enjoying our conversations with clients, and helping you out there as the listener, just sort of get through these times,
Hmm.
and we're right there with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Rick, any thoughts for the listeners before we leave?
I think I've exhausted myself in sharing my opinions and thoughts on this, and but I'll give one last shout out to um, our whole team, and that includes our clients,
Yep.
as this has been a really difficult time, and us all working together is where we're gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I agree. And shame on me. One department I left out here, the marketing department, putting out these podcasts, working on these podcasts. They've been absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Putting out these podcasts week by week. These are a lot of work, and they deserve all the credit in the world for for the high quality work that they're
Making you and I sound
doing.
good is not an easy
Absolutely.
task.
No, no, it's not. It's not. Yeah. So on that note, this has been Andrew Busa and Rick Winters from Advisor Investments. Thanking you for listening to the Advisor You Can Talk To podcast. Again, if you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, review our episodes and our show. We really appreciate that. You can check us out at www.advisorinvestments.com/podcasts. Your feedback is always welcome. And if you have any questions or topics that you'd like us to explore, please email us at info@advisorinvestments.com. Thanks very much.